And welcome into another episode of Dan Tony Sports. My name is Dan Snyder, joined tonight by Dan O'Shea, Tony Casper, Dan Beebe. We have got the full house. Gentlemen, how are we all doing tonight?
Good.
That is good to hear.
Dealing with this humidity, baby.
What was that?
So dealing with this humidity.
Oh, yeah, it's
Sucks to be you, nerd.
yeah, it's not good. It's not. Luckily, I've got a fan on me, air conditioner going. I'm feeling pretty good myself right now.
Yeah, waiting for the AC to catch up to the heat right now.
All right, guys. I don't know if you know this, but sports start back tomorrow. Sports.
Supposedly.
Well, I mean, I doubt that they're going to cancel the baseball games tomorrow. But you never know. But tomorrow is the first official day of the Major League Baseball season. Now, I'm sure many of you know that it is a shortened season. It's only going to be 60 games, which is good and bad. Good because there are teams like the Mariners who tend to be teams that get to about 100 games and then fall apart. So for teams like that, it's good. For teams like the A's and the Mets, where they typically have stronger endings than they do starts, it's not as good. But I am willing to bet any amount of money that we don't have a single team win or lose 100 games this season.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Any amount of money. Take me up on this bet.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's a good call. It's a good call. Anyway.
Check with my Vegas insider, that's a terrible bet.
Yeah, it is quite a terrible bet. But like I said, baseball does officially start tomorrow. We've had the spring games and all of that, but there are 2 games starting tomorrow. And Dan O'Shea, I know for a fact that baseball is, without a doubt, your favorite sport.
Yes. You got me.
I sure did. Figured you out. So, shortened season, less games. How do you expect this season, and this is a question for anybody, how do you expect this season, other than, well, they're going to be playing less games, how do you expect it to be different than other seasons? Like, what are we going to be seeing that we're not used to? What are we going to be, missing that we are used to? So what are your thoughts on how this season is for the viewer, not for the logistics, but for the viewer? How is this season going to be different than in the past?
Shitty.
What was that?
Shitty.
Could you
right,
elaborate?
I'll play devil's advocate and give you a couple of things. One, I think that we're going to see starting pitchers go longer because there's not going to... When you take away 100 games, 100-plus games out of a season, you're going to have pitchers that can go a lot longer and have a lot more in the tank as far as starting pitching is concerned. I think that we're going to see a drastic decrease in number of runs and homers just because of the fact that starting pitching can go longer. I think that you're going to see more technical baseball as far as defense is concerned, as far as hitting is concerned. I still think the Astros are fucked because they cheated, so everyone's going to be gunning at them, but I think by condensing the season, you're going to get more competitive games than, in contrast, if you look at an entire MLB season, you see a lot of games that are blowouts, 10-1, 12-2. I don't think you're going to get as many of those games because each game is going to matter more. So managers are going to want pitchers that can go the distance, but in the same sense, they're going to be playing a technical game that, like it's, like it's a 7-game series, you need to make the best moves to make sure that you can win this game.
You're right, and just going back to the first thing that you really touched on, they probably will go longer because when you have, let's say, a 5-man rotation, 160 games, that's 33 starts, 33 starts.
That's taxing on a player, and you understand why they have weeks where they're off.
Yeah.
But
now we're talking about 12.
That concern isn't there.
Right. So just doing quick math, 60 starts divided by 5 pitchers is 12 starts. That's not including playoffs, obviously, but when a starting pitcher, especially ones that tend to wear themselves out or get an innings limit, like what's his name did Steven Strasburg did a couple years ago, or you have a pitcher that just wildly
titles, home run leader. I think a lot of that's going to be more interesting when you condense it and you shorten it down. It kind of puts the pressure on the players to keep up with one another. And I've always been of the idea that baseball is probably a little bit too long for the season, and I honestly think for the MLB, shortening it is going to create more entertainment for the season itself.
I agree, and I also saw an article where someone was saying other things that we're going to have to look at differently. If someone hits 15 home runs, and has 60 RBI, or not 60, 40 RBIs, that's a great season. Whereas that's average at best in a regular season.
This season's going to have to be with an asterisk no matter anybody's stats. I feel like any sport in this season is going to have to come with a question mark because this is abnormal.
Yeah, you're right. And we'll talk about the NHL next week, and we'll talk about the NBA in, just a little bit later on tonight. But yeah, it's very abnormal. It's very abnormal because again, we're about a third of the number of games played in baseball. The NHL just decided, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna just end our season here, and we'll do this crazy fucking playoff bullshit. We'll figure it out later. NBA. Just
NHL, I'll get into it because I'm interested to see the teams that are left out. But the MLB, the MLB is a unique situation because it almost is a pretext to me for the NFL because the NFL doesn't know what it's going to do entirely. The NFL is still scrambling and always changing what they're going to do, the same way that college football is. But the MLB is going to try and attempt shorten the season and give it a go here. And again, if anyone can be less affected by the virus or least affected by the virus, it seems like baseball. I mean, half the times the players aren't going to be touching the ball.
Yeah, if the pitcher does his job right, they won't.
Well, yeah, there's that.
That's not true. Actually, it's NASCAR because they're all alone in their cars and there's no fans.
That's all fun and games until there's an accident and then people want to throw fists.
Yeah, they're all rednecks and they're anti-maskers, so they'll catch it. Don't worry, it's just a matter of time. Also, NASCAR's not a sport. We've been over this, but but yeah. So
I can turn left real good.
So the thing that I mentioned earlier about teams like the Mariners, do we see that this actually working out in their favor? Because, like I said, the past correct me if I'm wrong, but like the past like 5 years, haven't the Mariners had like hot starts and then just like died, and then the Rays did the same thing?
You're going to be seeing like a Padres Mariners World Series, basically.
I don't know about that. Manny Machado, whether he's got to play 1 game or 1,000, he ain't going to be running too hard.
Fuck Manny Machado.
He'll be tripping though.
Yep, but
He'll be tripping.
Manny Machado is the only one in the MLB that I hope gets COVID.
he's the only one.
The only one.
All right.
Most other people I can stand. Like being a Red Sox fan, I could say a bunch of Yankees, but I hope they don't get it. Manny Machado, definitely, he deserves it.
Speaking of Red Sox, your former boy Mookie Betts just scored himself a 12-year, $365 million deal with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
That is insane, but it's still not Pat Mahomes money. Like,
obviously it's not, but listen, this is something that I've ate, but I haven't let it settle yet, and if I don't, I'm going to become violently ill.
Oh, all right. Anyways, yeah.
I was upset with the trade, and I'm upset now because they did with goddamn Red Sox.
I get it. I get it. Anyway,
You do, because it happens to the A's all the time.
It absolutely does. It's like, oh, hey, guys, we've got this guy. We think he's a really good pitcher. We think he could be an ace if we just develop him. We develop him, and he's got a cool name. He comes up, he plays. His name is Sonny Gray. He just fucking shit up, like just fanning people left and right. Looks like he's the fucking greatest pitcher of all time sometimes. And then the Yankees fucking trade for him. And then he fucking sucks.
Yeah, and then they fucked him up. Yeah.
It's like, how many players have the A's had?
Figured out he's talking about Sonny Gray.
If I don't understand how many players the A's have just allowed to leave or traded, and they've just been phenomenal. Like Yoenis Cespedes, yeah, he's getting hurt quite a bit, but he's still really effective for the Mets when he's on the field. He's fucking shit up. And like that's the life of a typical Oakland A's fan, which there's 3 of us in the entire fucking world. But yeah, not even the A's players are A's.